with your hands palm up, and just let the energy wash over you and through you.
Yo! How are you doing? Hi, everyone. Hi. Hi, Kelly. Yay! 28 months, baby. Yeah, really good. Cosmic Butterfly. You've got one in tonight, haven't you? Welcome in, everyone. Very white at the moment. Yeah. How's my mic volume? I'm just going to take it out the reds a little. Oh, I've got a bit more girth on there. Hi. Hello. Ibiza was great. It was fantastic. I had a lot of fun. I got to meet up with a friend of mine. Let me just turn this lights down in here a little bit. It's a bit bright. I got to see an old friend of mine. Yes, Richie. And yeah, I'd not seen Vicky for a long time. Me and Vicky have been DJing together for like 20 years. She lives out there. She works with like Eden, Judgment Sundays. It's very, very, very well known, loved and respected in the trance circles. And yeah, it was such a nice thing to reconnect with her. And yeah, because the thing is, when you've been doing this job for a long time, you see a lot of people come and go. And yeah, hi Torin. And you see, and so it's nice having been in it for a long time, to have familiar faces. You know, that's better. And you know, just mainly because it's nice to have people around you who know what it's like, because it's a fickle business. It can be a fickle business. Let me just see. This is how fickle I am. I've got that's not the right camera angle. There we go. It's a fickle business, but it's lovely to see the ones that aren't fickle are in it a long time. You know, because we weather the storms, whether or not it's financially viable or makes any financial sense, don't we, Torin? Oh my God. Yeah, which leads me very, very nicely into the demo drop. And, you know, this is a great, you know, example of that ethos that me and other people in this industry, in the scene, have as well. This demo drop. So, and I'm beginning to we've been doing this for like over 2 years now, and I didn't realise that. And this weekend I'm going to be at the Birmingham Brighton Music Conference, talking about the demo drop with Spinning, are on the same panel, the A&R panel. I think it's Spinning, Armada and Defected. So we've been put on that level by BMC, which is just fantastic, because it shows us, and shown me as well, that it's not just about being on a massive label. You know, if you're a beginner, or even if you've been doing this for a long time, same as I have, it's not about just getting on a big label. This is about all of the smaller incremental steps, because if you look at those labels, it seems like an impossible task to even get on a label sometimes. So, yeah. And so what I've always done, I mean, I have 4 record labels. I've had up to 6 record labels throughout the last 20 years, but 4 have always stuck around. And they're all small independent ones, but they're on label works. They get distributed to all of the main digital download stores. So those are my Delicious one, Demore Recordings, which is house and electro, Transportal Digital, which is progressive stuff, melodic techno, D-Day, which was and still is like techie stuff, hard styly stuff. I think I've missed one out there. I can't remember what I've said, but yeah. But it's difficult. I mean, Cosmic Butterfly there says, would you recommend DistroKid? I don't use it, but I would recommend it because we would talk about it at uni. It's quite difficult to get on a distributor's lists now, or like on Label Works, without having a lot of music ready to go. So when I started my record labels, it was really, really early days of Label Works. This was like before, when we had to write our own metadata and like upload everything to FTP sites, and it's all kind of like automated now. But the reason why I'm mentioning it all is because the one thing that I've always done with my record labels is I've always signed new talent, or people that I saw had talent, because it's very difficult to get taken seriously if you aren't on a label, or if you haven't had your music played on a radio station, for example. So hi DJ Mr. And hello to everyone. Hi David Hart. So like we've had so many success stories on the demo drop, and I've also had them separately from running my labels over the last 20 years, or 15 years for the labels. But yeah, like a lad called Tom, who was called Disco's Over, got signed to Spin In. We've had some of you guys on here signed to Discover, Black Hole. You're doing collabs with each other. And this is where it starts, because as soon as you get yourself on a smaller label, the chances are you will be taken more seriously for other ones. So it's really nice to see that an entity such as the Brighton Music Conference can see the value that this that this channel and this community brings to the table. So it's not all about pizzazz and, you know, being at the top, because there's a route to get to the top, isn't there? And there's loads of different ways to do it, but I do feel that we've got a lot of value to give you guys with this show. So, because otherwise, you send stuff in an email to a record label, you don't know if they've listened to it, how much they've listened to it. It's difficult to get any, feedback. And one thing I'm quite spoilt with from being around for 20 odd years is I can call upon so many people, including my other half, with living with Guy, and ask, what do you think of this tune? And get instant help. And I understand how big an opportunity that is, and I don't it's not like I overlook that, which is why this show is important to me, because I want you guys to be able to have somewhere where we can all come and geek out and be vulnerable, show each other what we're doing, and be accountable and show up. Because even I have it sometimes. Like, I was full of renewed confidence and ideas after being in Ibiza. I did a stream yesterday. I got a bit stuck on a few normal things, and I think what I'm going to be doing from now on is I'm not going to be doing all of my studio stuff on a stream, because it kind of it can tear me in two places, because I know where I'm going, but then sometimes I'll get distracted with the chat. So that taught me quite a bit, and it was a good lesson, because it just shows that none of this is linear. I've just had a really good run of making 5 tracks in about 6 days, and I was happy with all of them. And I have to remember, sometimes it's not gonna happen forever. So it's good that we can all check in with each other, and we're like, oh, I can't do anything at the moment, like, or my mix downs are sounding crap, blah, blah, blah. And there might be someone in the chat who might have some piece of information that might hit at the right time and help. So, hello, Lois Lane. I'm not banning you. I'm not banning you. So there. So I hope you guys are good. Yeah, hats off to the people who actually produce. And well done to everyone who is learning to produce and is enjoying time in a studio with an engineer, picking up skill sets as well, because that's how I started. But yeah. Okay, so people on the show tonight, we've got Jamarco, Ben Starmore, Danny Gibson, Adam Taylor, Ferg, Dave Owens, Pattern Perception, myself, Nick and Torin. I'm going to put one of my ones in here as well, so you guys can have a listen to it. And Cosmic Butterfly and Grazer J. So I'll put mine in here somewhere. I'm going to play you one of my tracks that I've finished for uni. Hello, Basmotastic. Okay, right, let's dive right in. You got banned off a Words with Friends stream. What did you do? What happened? A Words with Friends stream. What were you... Oh. Oh. Thank you very much. Well, yeah, you do shut up the commercials, but you also are investing in me as a streamer. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Arrowbox, welcome in. Kelly, thank you for 28 months. Yeah, it really, really does help, guys, with when you subscribe. It's a crap time for everyone right now. I get that. But yeah, it helps me to think, you know, that you guys find this helpful and valuable. So thank you. Right then, first track. This is Jamarco, Asteroid. Oh, so there we go. That is Basmotastic in the chat there. Asteroid. Make sure you give him a follow as well, please. Yeah, isn't it? Isn't it, Ben? It's do you know? There's two sides to listening, isn't there? There's when you are on the production path. So you kind of like have to get used to listening as a listener, and then you kind of like you have this other perspective of the artist or the producer. Like, so there's two ways to listen to stuff, which I find very helpful to remember, because it means that I can listen to something objectively and enjoy it. You know, instead of, unless there was something, I've trained myself now to do this especially when I do this show, unless I'm specifically asked, train myself to really only comment on if there's something sticking out that sounds off, like something that's, you know, out of key, out of time. The technical, hearing and listening. Yes, exactly that. Hearing and listening, two different things. And with that said, I really liked listening to this. You know, like I liked where it was taking me, and if a track makes me forget like what I'm doing, this did this in parts. It kind of like I went off into my own little world. Yeah, I liked it. The only thing I could possibly say in terms of any technical feedback would be after the break near the end, it kind of lost a bit of power. So this bit. Okay. That's the only thing like that stuck out to me as possibly could have like had a bit more impact or something, but it didn't stop me from enjoying listening to it. I think it's the extra bar that's jolted me. I think if you took out the extra bar, the fake break or whatever it is they call it, it probably wouldn't have been jolting. But again, like I say, it's an expressive thing to do that. So if it feels right for you, then don't worry about it. So yeah, but like I say, that's probably just a subjective thing. Yeah, the gaps are good. Yeah, do you know what? J-Can is right. I think it just needs tying in with a riser, a short riser or something. That's probably all that is needed. I hear the spaces, yeah. Well, we need them, don't we? But yeah, that's the only thing, but it didn't take away from the enjoyment of listening to the track as a whole. I really enjoyed it. So thank you, darling. A backspin clash. A reverse cymbal crash, I think is what J-Can means. But I like how you said that. Backspin clash. Yay. Yeah, reverse cymbals are great. And reverse claps. Sometimes automating the volume down. Yeah, I actually do that when I'm DJing in a breakdown. I do that in the breakdown and then doosh, pow. But yeah, good bits of advice there from people. So next up, we've got Ben Starmore, and this is A New Dawn. Ben, I can't look at you right now. That was beautiful. Woo! Loved it. Love, 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 love. Yeah, really, really, really well produced. A lot of great expression in that, especially with your intro outro melody with the portamento, and the pianos, your strings, your pads, your plinky plonkies, your twinkly bits, everything. Really solid track. And like you've not hidden behind anything, like in terms of, if you put a vocal over stuff, vocals will hide a lot of errors because it kind of focuses the ears in an area, and it can be a bit more forgiving. There's no vocal in this. There's, like I say, there's nothing to hide behind in that sense. And yeah, if you put a vocal on it, I think it would sound just insanely the twinkly bits. I would love to hear, you wouldn't even need one, but I'd love to hear some kind of vocal on this. But it definitely isn't needed. SLB mentioned about probably not having a gap at the breakdown. Again, this is so subjective because sometimes when you take it out, it feels like it needs it. You can be honest, Jaycan, absolutely. But we're always positive. And we're always making sure that, we if you have anything to say, from your expertise, please do. The only time I ever have a problem is if anyone says something like, "Oh, that's shit," because there's nothing you can do with that, But yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to give some great creative, some good feedback. So yeah, that's what we're here for. We're here to learn. So yeah, I think that it's I think when people just say, "Oh, that's shit," I don't think they necessarily mean to be like. I always see the best in people, but I don't really think that they're just saying it to be horrible. Yeah, Torin, I'll put it on it's in the chat now. I think people just say that because they're not able to differentiate between stuff that they listen to and like, and stuff that they're not used to hearing. Like if you have someone who's into rock music and they might listen to an R&B track, they might go, "Oh, this is shit." But they're not necessarily saying it is shit. It's just that they don't get that kind of music. But we just we don't tend to have those kind of people in here anyway. So I'm just going to have a look through the comments. Every day's a school day. Yeah, so you tried it. Yeah, I was going to say, Ben, I would have thought you'd have tried it both ways because, you're a very, very known producer now. Like I've been playing your stuff for a while now. So, yeah, it's not like you needed to have that as like a suggestion. Look at that piece of trash I've got in the bucket. Look. God. Look. Need to tidy up in here. But yeah, as in terms of this style of trance, it's perfect. This is the kind of banging trance that I play all day. So, yeah, I wouldn't say anything needs. I wouldn't say anything needs to be changed on it at all. I'm not wearing pajamas. No, these are my travelling trousers. I wear them to the airport usually. They're Adidas. PJ. They do look a bit like PJs. I have worn my PJs many times on streams. You might not have noticed. I'm not hiring a cleaner. I'll just get the Hoover out. I've got a student in on Monday, so I'll have to do it. Cheers, Torin. So yeah, Ben, really love this track. I think you've got it nailed now. I've played quite a lot of your stuff, and yeah, I think anything else. I mean, J-Can has some great advice there, but again, this is where it's important to differentiate between something that's subjective and something that needs to be said, because everyone's got their own way of working, haven't they? Everyone's got their own hi Guy. Everyone's got their own way of doing things. Me and Guy were actually talking about this in the kitchen yesterday. Welcome in Phase Zero. Because sometimes we can get kind of like distracted by different ways. You know, if you watch YouTube tutorials and just conversations with people, oh, I do it this way. This way is the best way, and that kind of makes me switch off. There's a guy. I'm not going to say his name, but I can't remember exactly what his name is on Instagram, and he does like these short videos where he's like, you want your kick and bass to sound really good, you got to do it in these 3 easy steps. But he's doing it, he's saying it for a very specific type of music in a very specific set of circumstances. And I went into the comments because I was like, oh, that sounds like a cool idea. And it did. And I even wrote, oh yeah, brilliant. And then someone else who obviously knew a bit about production as well said, well, actually, that isn't a fast rule, a set, hard and fast rule. It wouldn't work in every circumstance. And this guy's reply was something along the lines of, yes, it is. This absolutely works, and I know what I'm talking about. This is the best way to do it. And I even replied at that point. I didn't reply to this guy who's the know-it-all, but I replied to the other comment, and I said, no, you are right. There are a few different ways of doing this technique. It puts me off now, and it makes me not want to believe. It makes me discredit and distrust this person now, because they're so blinkered into just telling people you have to do it this way. You know, that's why, yeah, know-it-alls. And even if they're right, then they're only right for their way of working, because you've got to take other variables into account. Are you using any live instruments? Is it sample packs you're using? What DAW are you using? What do you want it to sound like? Are you after more dynamics, or do you want it loud? You know, there's what style of music are you making? How long have you been learning it for? What plugins do you have? You know, there's loads of different ways of doing things, and when someone says, no, this is the way, you have to do it this way, or this way, I know what I'm talking about, and laughing off any other option, I just found it was sad, because I was enjoying his content, and I'm like, oh, I don't like you now. So but yeah, we don't get that in here. You know, you guys are really respectful, and you're really helpful. And even with my studio streams that I've been doing, I've had a few of you in the chat who have been like, you know, suggesting stuff while I'm doing my streams or making music, and it's been amazing because it's helped me to come up with like ideas for stuff that I'd not even thought about. But there's definitely an approach to take, and there's definitely a way that would make anyone switch off. But thankfully, we do have a good group of people on this channel. So David says, been producing for 20 years and still shit. It's so not true. Guy says, the problem with stuff like that is the clickbaity way they promote the content. Yes. Better to be clear and honest with what you are doing, i.e. being more specific. Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it, Guy? It's those reels, and I understand why, because it's got to be short, snappy content, but it should always, if they're not going to say it, we'll say it. Take it all with a pinch of salt. Make sure you experiment. Try stuff out. Do stuff differently in your effects chain. You know, work out why, you know, you shouldn't put, or not even shouldn't, but try putting a compressor before a reverb, you know, or the opposite way around. See what it sounds like. Work out why it's better for you doing it, and you know, because you might stumble across something amazing. Loads of techniques and processes were created by, you know, happy accidents. So many ways to skin a cat. Honestly, I've learned now not to try and be like XYZ. Yeah. I am me, and my journey and my knowledge is different to everyone else. My advice to any producer would be to focus on yourself and keep learning. You will find what works for you. Yes. Use your ears, says David. Yeah, this is why I like to have many influences when it comes to learning more about music production, getting in the studio with different people, seeing how other people work, getting confirmation. Oh, I do it like that. I use that plugin. Being surprised sometimes with how simple some people's setups are. And you build up this database of cross-referencing, you know, different people doing different things, and then you'll find your way of doing it. But don't try and sound exactly the same as anyone else. But watch the masterclasses, have conversations. Don't be afraid to. No, a better way to put it is be confident to make mistakes, because you can always go back. Thank you, SLB. Phase Zero says, when I first started, I could not afford equipment, so I had to use trackers and was limited to 4 channels and samples. Hell yeah. Yeah. See, well, I never used trackers, but I know all about them. Well, I know about them, and I know people who have used them and still use them. When I first did a college course about 18 years ago, it was a BTEC National Diploma in Music Technology, and we used 8-track. So we had the same thing. You were limited to eight tracks. We used an Akai sampler, which could like sample 2 seconds. We had Cubase, but it was Cubase before the audio pools, Cubase 5.2 VST, which we had to rewire with Reason to use the NN19 sampler. Probably like half a gig of RAM. Something ridiculous, and not a lot of disk space. And the music from back then still stands up. Oh my God, Leona! Yay! Ammonia. Hi!
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Hello, everyone. Welcome in to the demo drop. Ammonia. if you're not already following Leona, please go and give her a follow. She's amazing. She's the reason why I have a step machine now. She is my cyborg queen. So yeah, we're doing the demo drop now. We've just been listening to the first 2 tracks. I think now would be a good time for me to play my latest one, which is called 13. Now this is under a new name. So when I start releasing this stuff, it's a new name. I wasn't going to tell anyone about this, but it's Kelly's fault because Kelly... Oh, welcome in, Chris. Thank you so much. Kelly in the chat, KMB, mentioned something about Queen Boudica, and I really liked that name. I was like, oh yeah, Queen Boudica. So it's the name is Boudica. But yeah, just see what you think. I'll put it on now. So this is one of my latest tracks that I've just finished. Here we go. Yeah. Woo! Thank you for all of the bits and the subs and everything, guys. Thank you. And once again, massive thank you to Leona for that awesome raid. Make sure you go and follow her. Whew. Thank you. I know you guys know what it's like to show people your music. Again, that's why we're all here. It wouldn't be fair if I didn't share my own, but it's hard. It's hard because it's such a vulnerable place to be. So, yeah, I'm really happy that you guys liked it. Thank you. Means a lot to me. But yeah, that track, that was one of 5 that I did over like 6 days. Stop it, Richie. For my last uni assignment. And it came together all on a live stream. We started it from scratch and it was all done in the same day. And just reading your feedback now. Thank you, David Hart. I love the effects too. The effects spent quite a long time. Like there was probably about 25 channels of effects, which is quite a lot. And yeah, I downloaded Sean Tyas's presets for Spire, and yay! Hello, people like us. So I used the about 2 or 3 of Sean Tyas's presets, but then because he says in the notes, he said make sure you mess around with them, and he's got macros on them, and I added a manual phaser to one of the sounds to get this kind of like movement, because when you've got a big sound over time, if it doesn't get introduced and then goes away again for a bit, it can be very monotonous and become quite taxing to listen to and annoying. So that was a really good learning curve for me, was to add a phaser, add movement to a sound to keep your ears interested in the sound. And that was something. It was a manual flanger. You can manually flange me any day, Tidy Guyver. Just saying. But sorry. Just saying. Thanks, guys. I'm glad you liked it. Oh. A bit of sausage fattener as well, yeah. Phaser VST, is it? What was the one? What's that free one that me and you were looking at, Guy, the other day? Vital. Was it called Vital? If no one's like, or if you haven't looked at it yet, go and check out Vital. I'm just changing the subject very quickly as well, by the way. But we were watching some. Thank you, SLB. Thank you to everyone that sent bits in as well. I really appreciate that. Thank you to everyone that subscribed as well. Yeah. So, yeah, me and Guy were watching some tutorials. The reason why I thought it was, Guy brought it to my attention was because of the text-to-speech thing in it. There's like a text-to-speech part of the synth, so you can like program it to say stuff, which I thought was quite cool. So we'll probably do a stream on that. I'll probably do one of my studio streams where we'll have a mess around with that. But yeah, check it out. Oh, Soundsticks, thank you. Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this show now for about 2 years, and we're now gaining a lot of traction with it. I'm going to be speaking at a very big music conference at the weekend alongside some very, very big labels. Because this is where it starts for everyone. For people who are into music production, we can't get on labels straight away. It takes a while for us to get noticed, and this show is definitely been proven to give everyone confidence. People have got signed to different labels through, off the back of putting in their music here, and it's so hard because people. Thank you, Pattern Perception. Welcome in, Dave. People can, we all can be so, we're not the best judges of our music at all. We need another pair of ears to confirm what's good, what could be worked on. And so many times we have it on the show that people are sending stuff in and they're not sure about it, but it's ready. And half of the battle is knowing when the track's done and it's ready and you should be sending stuff out. So, hi, Bears. Bears, I watched your thing earlier, your documentary, which was amazing. Yeah, I understand that, Cosmic Butterfly. Thank you, people like us. Yeah, so, yeah, look into it. Alien is a DJ, Vital VST. It's insanely good. It really is. So, yeah. So Pattern Perception is in. So I'm going to play your one next, mate. So here we go. This is Colder by Pattern Perception. Pattern Perception, aka my mate Dave. Take a bow. Oh, so good. So good. Every one of the tracks that you've sent in so far has been so good. Brownie Biscuits, I agree. Yeah. I'm going to say this because we haven't mentioned it in a couple of streams, but I would implore all of you who are sending music in here to send it into BBC Introducing as well. So for those of you probably outside of the UK, BBC Introducing is the radio 1 or radio, is it radio? Or radio, I don't know if it's 2, 3 or 4. Doesn't matter. It's a massive, massive platform to get your music out onto. So BBC Introducing, I've had a few tracks played on it, and many of my friends have as well. I don't think it's just for UK people. I highly doubt it is. It's a UK radio station, but I don't think it would be limited to just people within the UK. But if you just put into Google BBC Introducing. Hang on. Yeah, I'm going to leave you the link as well. Reckless, don't you dare say that. Don't you dare say that. Of course, hang on, I've got the wrong link there. Of course you can send in hard style. In fact, I don't know if you're old enough to remember John Peel. John Peel was an amazing radio DJ, and he used to play absolutely everything. And honestly, this is the kind of negative, limiting thoughts and belief systems that all of us have to get out of thinking. So we just had 2 there. We had number 1, isn't BBC Introducing just for UK artists? Highly doubt that that's true. And we had number 2, I don't think they'd want to play hard style. Both of those are belief systems. We all do this, but it's really important. It's really, really important that you don't limit your potential through guessing or assuming. Andrew Fetch, thank you very, very much for being here and for 14 months. Thank you for all the bits as well, guys. Seriously, because it's really important. John Peel launched Lab 4 into mainstream. There you go. There you go. Please, please, please. I'm really glad that we brought this up now, because it's and I'm not shouting at you. I am passionate about getting you guys heard on a bigger scale. And that starts with us all not having it starts with us all having an optimistic outlook. And I don't like using negative connotations with things, but it's difficult. We have to take opportunities when they're presented to us, and researching stuff, just checking it out before we start thinking that, oh, we can't do that, they won't like my music. We've all done it. We've all thought like that. I have to remind myself many times a day sometimes that I am worthy. We're all worthy. You know, we have all got something creative to give this world, and you've just got to get it out there. Yeah, John Peel did. He was an absolute legend. It's really, really important that you remember that there's enough people in this world to be into the kind of music that you're into. There's enough people, but you have to be shining that beacon of whatever it is that you make. You have to be switched on, either live streaming, making music, getting it out there, sticking it up on DistroKid, getting it up on SoundCloud, sending it into BBC Introducing. All of these different ways that it's now possible for someone to see you and to contact you, go to conferences, speak to people, connect with people, collab with people, immerse yourself, go to events, take a USB with you, buy some cheap USBs, give them out to people when you're out, go up to the DJs, give them your music. How do you find someone to do artwork for track art and label art? Cosmic Butterfly, great question. Personally, I use Canva, and also AI art is a great idea. Or if you know someone who can make it for you at a decent price, you could do that. So yeah, Canva's amazing. There's loads of different ways you can do it though, but yeah. Yeah, Canva's great, isn't it? It's great for someone like me that hates Photoshop. Yeah, I love all the AI art stuff. I mean, that's another big conversation, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, promo videos, all that kind of stuff. And it's a good point to bring this up, actually, because having your track and then having a small little promo video allows you to put it on a reel, you know, for social media, maybe even YouTube Shorts. Make sure you get yourself all of the social media platforms. Even if you're not using them yet, just sign up to them all so that you can keep your name, and try and keep your name the same on every single platform as well. So yeah, AI music generators. Yeah, I mean, I still don't think it's something to worry about. I think it's just a natural evolution in everything. So yeah, but we'll see, won't we? We'll see. I honestly believe that people are going to not just like your music, but they're going to like you. So they're not just investing in the noises that you record and put out as a track. They're also going to be invested emotionally in you as a person. So please don't discount that, because it's really important. People will be interested in the person behind the music. So allow yourself to be available to them. Get yourself out, like we said, get yourself out there, get to gigs, meet up with people, do some live streaming, just talk about yourself on a video. I know it's not easy for a lot of people to be on a camera and speaking, but it gets easier. I didn't like it to begin with. Yeah, as Chris Cray says there, the only thing holding you back is you. And this is why we can't ever be resentful at anything or anyone, or for not getting where it is we want to be. None of that matters. You will find a way. You'll find a way. But yeah, I'd say obviously live streaming. I'm going to obviously try and get as many of you to start live streaming as possible, because it really, really does help. It helps for you to be in front of people day in, day out, and people will connect with you and be invested, and they'll miss you when you're not there. They'll buy your music when it gets released. So, you know, just remember that. So don't worry about AI, because AI doesn't have your personality. AI doesn't have your expression. AI doesn't have your history, and you could probably make a great tech house bro track with AI, but this has been around for a really long time. Welcome in, Daylit Bob. Thank you very much for subscribing again, mate. Humans like humans. Exactly. There's a massive difference between the tracks that are just churned out and the ones that express something deeper. So don't worry about it. Some of my favourite producers are in this stream right now. One of them being People Like Us. I would love to see if we could get AI to do a track in the style of People Like Us. Because I don't know if it would be able to do it. Because the ideas are just like the ideas that people get. I mean, look at the 70s. You know? I don't think AI can get into altered states of consciousness in quite the same way and come up with amazing, like, music. You know? You know what I mean? So, yeah, don't discount it. Please don't be fearful of technology. It's all good. Yeah, and AI will be too exact as well. I mean, it probably can humanize and replicate and imitate to a degree. But again, going back to what we're saying about people are going to invest in you as an artist, okay? Not as a brand, not as a marketing, an influencer or anything, not in that kind of sense anyway, but just someone who they're like, yeah, I like that person. I want to support them. And when you think about it in terms of making this into a career choice, you only need a couple of hundred hardcore fans to make this work. So say like if you've got, I'm really bad at maths, but say like if you wanted to work, I don't know, part-time and then do and push your music a bit more. If you've got 200 fans who spend, I don't know, say that they'll just, even if it's just £100 in a year, 200 times 100, 2,000, isn't it? Is it 2,000? Is it 20,000? I can't even think. Is it 2,000 or is it 20,000? 20,000 £20,000. I thought it was, but I'm so bad with maths, dyscalculia. I know. Well, I thought it was, but then, you know, I was just checking. 20k. And that just 200 people. If you can have 200 people who spend £100 a year on you. So that would be your music, and maybe, you know, if you're streaming, they could subscribe to you, or Patreon. I'm not doing your taxes, no. I know how to do percentages now, though. Yeah. I learn't how to work out percentages. Didn't I, Guy? I'm not doing it now, though, because my head hurts. He had to explain it to me about 5 times. I'm like, okay, I get it now. But yeah. Hi, General Bounce. But yeah, I've always struggled with maths. I love maths, though, but it takes me a while to work it out, but I do enjoy it. But yeah, like I said, 200 fans spending £100 a year, it's 20k. And if you get more than that, it's obviously going to go up higher and higher. If you can get gigs, sponsorships, it's doable is the point. It's doable. So yeah. So that was pattern perception, wasn't it? So thank you so much, Dave. And Dave is another one, the other Dave, General Bounce Dave. General Bounce runs a record label called Cheeky Tracks. And I'm not going to say it because I might not be allowed to say it, but he had some very big news yesterday regarding his label. So I don't know if he might tell you, but I'm not going to say it in case I'm not allowed to say anything. But I can't see why I wouldn't be allowed to say anything. But point being, keep at it. Keep your head down. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing, and shit will just happen. Danny Gibson says, Dave has helped me loads since moving over to Hard House. There you go. There you go. That's what it's all about. And these kind of streams will like help to accelerate everyone's learning as well. So next up we have got Cosmic Butterfly. And this is Planetary Matter. What do you mean, uh-oh? I love your stuff. Right, here we go. go. It's Cosmic Butterfly. Sorry about the WhatsApp messages in the background. I've recently put WhatsApp on my PC. No, it goes off in the background. I need to learn how to mute it. I really, really like this. It was very full of energy. Let me just put in, guys, if you can please go and follow Cosmic Butterfly on SoundCloud. Make sure you're following each other. Get supporting. Thank you for the bits as well, Cosmic Butterfly. So yeah, again, with your stuff, I remember ages ago when we played one of your tracks, I feel like, again, anything I say is going to be like from a listener's point of view, because everything that is in terms of technical arrangement, composition, sound design, all of that, you've got it figured out. I just like listening to it. I really, really liked it. Yay! Ben's been following everyone. Yay! Yeah, it is very Louise Naked-esque. And it wasn't taking away the attention of the riff, you know, the melodic element of the track as well. It was a nice accompaniment. But the one thing I took away from that track is it was relentless forward driving motion, which psytrance should be about that. And it had that in there. Yeah, and I really liked it. Really, really liked it. It offsets the energy of the track really nicely. Yep. Tidy Guyver says, the piano reminded me of Brain Bug Nightmare. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I really liked it. Really liked it. Yeah, really nice. And like I say, I had nothing to add on a technical aspect of it. It's I'm just glad that you're sending stuff in, because again, like we've mentioned before, we never really, we find it hard sometimes to know whether it's ready, or, you know, if anyone would actually like to listen to it. I very, very rarely have to turn down any music anymore. It's only like, if I get sent something, it's only if it like really wouldn't be listenable. People are at a high, you're all at a high, what's the word? It's good. I can't, come on, brain. A high standard. You're all at a high standard. So you should be very proud of yourselves. High standard. Thank you. Thank you. Does anyone else have that? Does your brain just decide it's going to stop working? It just... No? It does, doesn't it? And it does it at the most awkward times as well. And it's worse if you think about it. It's almost as if... it's almost as if there's that meme, isn't there, where there's someone who's on a bike and then they get a stick and they put it through the spokes of the front wheel and then they fall off. That's how I feel with my brain sometimes. I hope that it doesn't happen when I'm at Brighton Music Conference speaking to thousands of people about the demo drop. And then they come to me and they're like, what do you think then? No, I'm just like, blah. Oh, I hope I don't say something rude. Soundstick says, now I'm afraid to submit mine. Don't be daft. Yeah, let me just explain as well, if it isn't good enough, then what I mean by good enough is, I mean, if it's not listenable, and that very rarely happens, I'll explain why in the email, and I'll give some private feedback, because I'd rather do that than have you on a stream and it'd be like, because once it's out there, you can't suck it back in, kind of thing. So it's not like I won't reply to you or go, I'm sorry, it's just not good enough. Like, that wouldn't be, because that's not the point of the demo drop. The point of the demo drop is to, number one, listen to music that people are working on and they might be stuck. So that's part of the point. And then the other bit is listening to stuff that's been finished and you just want to, you know, show it to people, just get a bit of confirmation, or, you know, we can help you to, you know, get plays on it, or maybe buy it if it's been released, that kind of thing. So I will always be very, very sensitive with the way that I reply. And I find that it's more helpful that way, because it's the worst thing in, like, my obviously I'm a mental health first aider as well. A lot of what I do is to help people and to talk about mental health stuff. So I'm extremely switched on to how words and how vulnerable a situation it is when someone sends something in. So if you haven't heard off me, if you sent anything in and you haven't heard back off me, it is literally because I haven't seen the email. And we do get so many emails in. So if you have sent something and you haven't heard back off me, it's not that I've thought, oh, that's crap, I'm not playing it. I literally haven't opened the email. So bump it up, send it again. I don't mind. Busy inbox, yeah. And do try, if you can, not to send me an expirable link, because WeTransfer links only last for 7 days on the free plan, and it takes me longer than 7 days to get through the emails. Hello, Harrison J. So the demo drop works by you sending your demo here to amberdpromo@gmail.com. Head the email with demo drop so I know what it's for. Send in a SoundCloud link's usually the best way to do it. If you don't want it up on SoundCloud, send it as a private one, and or you can just send a private Dropbox, OneDrive, Google Drive link, something like that. So yeah, I will do General Bounds. They should be mostly up to date. This is the first one we've done for about 3 weeks. So, but yeah, that's how you can get involved. So yeah, and like I said earlier, we're going to be taking the show to the Brighton Music Conference on this Friday. So we're going to be expecting a lot more traffic through this show by the week after. So yeah, big things happening. Right, next up we've got Danny Gibson, and this is Valkyrie's Dance.
As hero that comes into Valhalla does not lament his death. I shall not enter Odin's hall with fear. There, I shall wait for my sons to join me. And when they do, I will bask in their tales of triumph. Fear will welcome me. My death comes without apology. And I welcome the Valkyries to summon me home.
There we go. That is Danny Gibson, Valkyrie's Dance. Yeah, I really like it. I like the Hoovers in it. The one thing I'm going to mention before I forget is in the fill areas where you use a high pass filter, I felt like it was taking away too much of the energy because the filter, the gaps are kind of between, I think they're 2 bars long. So I'll explain what I mean. So I'll explain here. Hang on. So here. So they're 4 bars long. I feel like that, and you have a few of them. We've got so on that one you do have a fill in there, like a snare roll, which kind of bridges that gap a bit more. But I do feel that by doing it over, did I say 4 bars? Yeah. So when you got more sounds in like that one was fine. But when you got ones which are a bit more sparse, like this one. I just feel like it needs some other elements. If you're going to high pass out your kicks and stuff over 4 bars, have some other snare roll effects, rises to fill in that gap, if that makes sense. That's the only thing that I could say that is sticking out to me is needing sorting it, or shorten it to 2 bars. But yeah, that's literally only thing. I love the Hoovers. Yeah. And again, you weren't in at the beginning of the show, Dave, but I try to reiterate now that when I state something or when I give any feedback, I do it from the complete standpoint of something that's sticking out to me is technically, musically wrong, or not wrong, because that's far too strong a word. Is sticking out as being something that would need to be worked on, and everything else is just my opinion. But yeah, that's the only thing that's sticking out to me. Yeah, could be improved. Yeah. Because we were making the distinction earlier between what is just your opinion and what is helpful for people coming onto the show to improve the final track. So I don't want to sit here and go, oh, well, I'd do this and I would do that, because that's not helpful. Until it's unless it's something that I think would stop me from playing it. That would be the only thing that would stop me from playing it. And now you can fix it if you want to. Yay. But this is the thing, because we work on our music. We can never see the wood for the trees. It's very, very difficult to be objective with our own stuff. Especially if the last thing we were working on was the effects, for example. And it's only when we spend a bit of time away from it, or we get another pair of fresh ears to listen, that this kind of thing can be heard. It's a lot of what we're talking about here is the philosophy and the psychology of music production. You're welcome, Ben. Yeah, Jay Ken says, I feel the vocal is a bit damp, but would make it a bit brighter. Cool. I tend to build the whole track after the sound design and do effects and filters last after the EQ. Yeah, I've started to actually do my effects a bit earlier on, because it allows me to hear the track as a full thing. And I also have started to arrange the track, map it out on the screen really early on, because otherwise I get stuck in a loop. I'll get stuck in a 16-bar, 8-bar loop, and I'll stop. I won't be progressing further than that. I have so many projects which just ended in just being a nice loop, and then I just forgot about it or got bored with it and moved on. But yeah, that's what I found really helpful, is to get it mapped out and put in a few of this, get your cymbal crashes in, maybe a few rises or something, because it begins to let you hear, where the track's going to. And then that, for me, has helped me to then progress to actually finish my music now. So, yeah. Like an alternative to the car test, yes. Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Danny. Thank you for sending that in. Next up, we have got another wonderful song from me, Nick Rowland and Torin. It's called Untitled at the moment. So I went down to sunny Wales very recently. Spent some time with Torin and Nick. And we made a song. It was raining. Harrison J says, what I found helpful is setting a timer for 2 hours on my phone. Yeah. Yeah, I've also started to do more live streaming. Harrison J. Martin. I've started to do more streaming. And by live streaming my studio sessions, that's helped me to stay like doing fun stuff and switching it up. So yeah. Okay, here we go. There you go. That is Nick Rowland touring and myself. Currently untitled, but I've seen a few ideas in the chat there. Yeah, it was really nice to get in the studio with Torin and Nick. Both of them, I play both of their musics. Both of their musics? I play music made from both of them. So to work with both of them was fantastic. Yeah, and we had a fun studio session. Slagged off people that we don't like, which was very cathartic. It was like general bouncers in the room. Brilliant. Yeah, like I play a lot of Nick's music as well on vinyl, and it's crazy because I think between myself and Torin, we've really encouraged Nick to start producing again, and I'm really happy that he is. I will do, Dave. Musics. So yeah, I'm glad you guys have enjoyed that. When we've thought of a name, we will let you know. Next up, we've got Grazer J. And this is called Whatever It Takes.
Today we have a chance to take it all back. Whatever it takes. 5 years ago we lost. All of us. We lost friends. We lost family. We lost a part of us. Whatever it takes. This is the fight of our lives. All right, we have a plan. 6 stones, 3 teams, 1 shot. Five years ago, we lost. All of us. We lost friends. We lost family. We lost a part of ourselves. Today we have a chance to take it all back. You know your teams, you know your missions. Get the stones, get them back. 1 round trip each, no mistakes, no rules. Most of us are going somewhere we know. That doesn't mean we should know what to expect. Careful. Look out for each other. This is the fight of our lives. We're gonna win. Whatever it takes. This is the fight of our lives. Whatever it takes. This is the fight of our lives.
Crazy J, take a bow. I just need to say a massive thank you to Kutski. Welcome in, Raiders. Come on in. We're doing the demo drop right now. Good to see you all. Kutski, I hope you had a good show. Yeah, welcome in, guys. So if you don't know, we do a show called The Demo Drop every Tuesday where we listen to your music. If you are an up-and-coming producer, artist, make sure you get your music in. All the details are on the screen just up here. So you send your demo in to amberdpromo@gmail.com, head your email demo drop, and we will have a listen to it and give you some advice. So yeah, that's what the show's all about. It's a place where we geek out on everything to do with music production, plugins, VSTs, processes, workflows, and we listen to your music and we give feedback in real time. So yeah, how are you guys doing? Did you have a nice time over at Kutski's? Thank you, the Quizmaster, for following. Yeah. So welcome in, guys. Hello, Jilted Hybrid. Good to see you again. Hello, 420. I saw Made For It Farm in here as well. General Bounce says, I'd sign that. So yeah, this is... yeah, I really like this track. So this is the track that we've just listened to, Grazer J, Whatever It Takes. Massive jump up from where Grazer's production was, you know, maybe a year, 2 years ago. And that's what it's about, is improving, finishing music and moving on to the next thing. And you start to look back at your music and, you know, the stuff that we even think is good now, guaranteed, if you just keep it up, in a year's time, you'll look at the stuff that you like now, that you're proud of now, and you'll see over time the incremental changes and improvements in your music production, you know. And something that this show will always do, it will always help push us all in the right direction, and it speeds up the learning process. So everyone's got a piece of information that someone else doesn't have. And, you know, by sharing knowledge, it makes everyone better. You know, we all think that we've come up with some crazy great idea in the studio, and, you know, it's quite tempting to want to keep it all to ourselves, and, you know, and that's fine. You know, there might be certain things that, oh my God, Melon, thank you. Guy, you're subscribed to me now. Yay. But if we ever really want to progress, we have to be, you know, we have to let in ideas and welcome in constructive feedback and talk, you know, communicate with each other. And, you know, that's what it's all about. So Jilted Hybrid says, I've been making things for nearly 30 years and I'm still not happy with a single track I've done. This is why I never finish anything. Mate, I completely understand. I completely empathise with that. I've been learning music production properly for 10 years. And one of the main problems that I was having was I wasn't finishing anything. And the reason why it's important to finish stuff is because when you finish it, you move on from it, and then the next thing you do will be an improvement on the last thing. But if we just keep running around in circles and starting new projects, it's difficult for us to process and fully integrate what we've learned. So there's a few like different ways and approaches for any artists. Like, it doesn't just have to be music, but any kind of artist. And one of the main things they say is just finish stuff. Don't worry about how good it sounds. Finish it and move on to the next thing. Move on to the next thing. So, you know, and a lot of what we talk about here is the philosophy and the psychology of being an artist, being a music producer. We're all shit in the beginning. Everything we do in the beginning is going to suck balls. And that's because it's not easy. It's not easy. And we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to sound good straight away. And it isn't like that. Music production, learning to be an artist and making your own music is like the most up and down, dysfunctional, stressful relationship ever. It's expensive. You'll have no friends by the end of it. You'll spend all your time on your own. You'll question yourself. You'll think you're shit, or your music's shit, I'm shit. No one wants to listen to it. Be prepared to spend many days of your life on your own. No one will really get it. Are you still doing that music thing? Oh my God. Yeah, it's a very dysfunctional relationship, but it has moments of bliss, moments, fleeting ones. And this show is a place where we all come together and feel less weird about our life choices. Family member thinking you're a recluse, yeah. Yeah. And if you're really lucky, you might get a track signed at some point. But no, in all sincerity, none of that matters, because it's about the journey. It's about, and something that's, yeah, TED Talk time. Something that really helped me in the beginning stages of learning music production, because I came from a background of being a very famous DJ 20 years ago and touring the world, front covers of Mix Mag, Essential Mix on Radio 1, and I had my music made for me. Like, I was in the studio, I was present, and I gave all the ideas and stuff, but I had an engineer, which is great. I don't think there's anything wrong with using an engineer, but it was very difficult for me to get used to the fact of, okay, if I'm going to be making my own music, I'm going to have to get used to everything sounding crap for a long time. And it is difficult. Yeah, it's difficult to drop expectations and go for it. But honestly, the whole thing is a parallel journey of self-discovery. Okay, maybe not for everyone. Some people might just do it for more superficial reasons, and that's fine. But honestly, I do feel like our group of people that we have here really get this deeper meaning of music and expressing yourself through music. And it's such a wonderful thing to be able to do. And it really is, it's a parallel journey of self-discovery, because you'll find out things about yourself that you didn't know. You have to work through crippling anxiety and crippling like you have to push against you a lot of the time, and just get down in your studio or get on your computer and learn stuff and finish things. Don't worry about it sounding shit to begin with, because everyone sounds shit to begin with. There's a really good Jordan Peterson lecture where he talks about that. Everyone's a fool when they first start something new. Everyone's going to suck at it in the beginning, but you improve over time. And 5 years, like, so this is something that really helped me in the early stages. I remember watching something on YouTube. It was a time when I really needed something to focus my time on. I had some mental health issues, been through a lot in a short space of time. And I watched something on YouTube, and it said something along the lines of 5 years. Think about in 5 years' time, right? There's one thing you can't stop. You can't stop the passage of time, but 5 years is going to be here at some point, right? In those 5 years, could you do something? Could you work towards something? Could you put in the effort to learn something? Imagine how good you would be at something if you spent the next 5 years learning it. Every day, every other day. Just doing a bit at a time. Imagine how good you'd be at something if you'd put in 5 years worth of effort. And it was true. I don't know why, but that really resonated with me. Really, really resonated with me to think about it in those terms. And then when COVID happened and lockdown, I went to university, and I've just finished now my third year. I've got a foundation degree in electronic music production, and I've now got a BA honours in music production, and I'm looking to do my master's in a couple of years' time. You don't need to go to university to do any of that. It's just that eventually I'd like to teach it, and I thought by going through this system it would help. But you know, it's 10 years down the line now, and I'm getting to a point where I feel confident. Okay, Alien, I'll see you soon. I'm feeling now that I'm getting to a point where I'm ready to finish stuff and release stuff. But not 10 years ago, not 5 years ago. But I hope that makes sense to someone, is to think about it in terms of, yeah, you might suck right now, and that's okay, because 5 years is going to be here whether you like it or not. In 5 years' time. And wouldn't it be cool if instead of watching soaps on an evening, or instead of playing 3 hours of games, maybe just play 2 hours of games and spend an hour a night on music production? And just see where it takes you, and see what you learn about yourself in that time, and see the friends that you make from it. You know, it's hard to make friends, and it's hard to know, you know, a good person from a bad person sometimes. But if they're people who are interested in the same things that you are, you'll make better choices. You'll spend time with people who are dedicated to learning something. And, you know, and they will want to help you as well, because if they see that passion inside of you, that's why I like doing this show, because I know it helps. You know, it stops us from getting ASBOs as well. It's either this or jail. Exactly, Malin. Exactly. Yeah, that's right, Jilted. There's we didn't do it in the end this year. We didn't get enough people on our course, but the Mixed Masters retreats are amazing. They really are. Yeah, good advice from a lot of people in the chat there as well. Well done, Mark. Good to see you here, mate. So yeah, Grazer J, to go back to your track, I really, really enjoyed it. I just liked how it sounded. It felt like a massive jump up from the stuff I'd heard from you a few years ago. And it felt more techie as well than your harder stuff. And I like this style on you. I think it sounded really good. But yeah, and what I said there about mastering something, it doesn't necessarily mean music. It could be DJing, it could be learning a new skill, it could be writing a book, it could be graphic design, it could be anything. Just do something creative, because honestly, it can be the difference between wanting to wake up in the morning and not wanting to wake up in the morning. I know it definitely was like that for me. You've got to have a focus. Okay, next up we've got Adam Taylor. Adam Taylor's done a remix of Lange, Follow Me. So here we go.
So take my hand and follow me. Make believe with faith and don't look down. Follow me.
There we go. Lunge, Follow Me, Adam Taylor remix. It's big thing to take on such an iconic track, and this has definitely done it justice. Yeah, and it's perfect. Really, really nice modern take on a classic trance tune. Oh, David, you need to send me that. Yeah, the reason why I ran off then was I was going to go and get my tune sign that I'd got from my gig in Ibiza at Eden on, when was it? Last Thursday. But it's upstairs and I'm lazy. But yeah, I really like it. Thank you very much, Adam, for sending that in. I am going to be playing that to death. On my streams. I haven't got anything else really to add to it because I just really liked it. Oh, there you are! Yay! Have you been lurking? Guys, please go and give Adam a follow. Yay! How's your cats, Adam? Are they behaving? I've not seen you for ages, have I? I bet they're not kittens anymore, are they? They'll be teenager cats. By the way, if anyone has got any pets, please send me pictures of your pets on the Discord. So join up to the Discord. Things there on the screen. And there is a section for pets. And I really do love looking at people's pussies. Doesn't have to be a pussy. It can be a tortoise. It could be a corn snake. You could get your rat out on there. Whatever it is, I just want pictures of your pets. Please. Yeah, get your beaver out. If you've got a pet beaver, please put pictures of your pets in the pet section. We also have a rant section on there. So no dick pics, no. You wouldn't be able to get them on Discord anyway. It's got algorithms for that stuff. Get your rat out. And we also have a mental health section on there as well. If you guys need any, if you just want to have a bit of a chat about anything mental health related, I'm a fully qualified mental health first aider. We have a really good set of people on there. And the moderators are also on there to hand. So if we're not live and you want to speak to someone, please feel free to reach out. And yeah, there is what else have we got on there? We've got a rave section. So if you've been out raving, put your rave pics in there. We have a section for if you've got any technical questions, music production related, streaming related, DJ advice or anything like that. Yeah, there's a super silly section as well, which is great for memes and stuff. Loads of stuff on there. and it allows us all to keep in contact with each other when we're not streaming as well. So yeah. Next up, we've got a Ferg 94 remix of DJ Spyroof, Now or Never. go. That is DJ Spyroof, Now or Never, Ferg 94 remix. Remix. Yeah, I can't help but like get excited by hardcore. Hello, King Cobra. How you doing? I like that vocal. I can see where General Bounce is coming from, but I quite liked it. I like the falsetto, high pitchedness of it. There's a thin line though, isn't there, between that and screechy, or like you said, cat and dog territory. But I liked that vocal. You shouldn't have told me that, General Bounce. I'm going to make sure every given opportunity I'm going to play that song whenever you're around now. But yeah, I think a dub remix, a dub version of that would be really... It would hold its own without the vocal, wouldn't it? Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, really, really like that. Ferg 94 is a regular on our show. She could do ultrasound scans with her voice. Well, as I said, I really liked it. I really liked it. And talking of things that I really like, talking of people that I really like, next up we have got Dave Owens. And this track is called King of the Rollers. What did I just listen to? I didn't even listen to this before the show because I don't need to when it comes to people like Dave Owens. Like, you just know it's going to be good. So I've just heard that for the very first time. First of all, just want to say a massive thank you to Haskan, my brother, and my actual brother, Elliot. Please, can you give my brother a follow? He's the one that's just raided us. How was your stream, babe? And welcome, raiders. Yeah, I survived, Dad, and Ibiza. I came back from Ibiza for one of the very first times feeling refreshed. The last 2 times I've been to Ibiza, I've slept. The last 2 times I've been to Ibiza, I've been sober. And yeah, it was a really nice experience. And I've come back with a renewed sense of inspiration and creativity. It's been amazing. But yeah, thank you. So yeah, I've saved the best for last there. Dave Owens, just insanely good at hard house. Just production in general. You know, he's someone that's obviously been around for a very long time. And yeah, a few people saying in the chat, production's really clean. The ideas are just so interesting. Like, hard house is quite formulaic, as there's a lot of dance music. So to keep it interesting and to, you know, and to have your own sound within a very niche genre, it's a difficult thing to do. And he does it so well. And that's practice. You know, even anyone in our scene who you look, or anyone any of your favorite artists, they weren't born being that good. I mean, there's an element of talent, natural talent, but we all have natural talent. It's about nurturing and skilling up from talent. And I see talent as just being an interest. When you're a kid, you're interested in things, aren't you? And then your parents will go, oh yeah, he's very talented at this, she's very talented at that. And that's an interest. So talent is something that just shows you the general direction of something that you know, an area you want to go in. And then it's about working on that, honing that skill, mastering it over time. And it's just practice. All of these people, including Dave Owens, including Nick Rowland, hello mate, they started somewhere. And we mustn't ever forget that. We must always remember to only compare with ourselves, with our other versions of ourselves. And if you are going to listen to something like that and do it in a way of like, wow, and let it inspire you, you know, let it inspire you. And another good thing as well is to look at the people who you look up to, find out who they are inspired by, find out who their favorite artists are. And you'll get a more clear idea of like from their influences to help inspire your own music. Gerthy Donks for the win, yeah. Yeah. Use of 2 vocals works well, yeah. But yeah, that's I love that tune. Definitely going to be playing that one. Yeah, I agree, David. Some absolute talent in here tonight. All pats on backs all round. Yay! Yay! So yeah, I'm glad that you guys have enjoyed the show. As I said, we're going to be taking the demo drop to the Brighton Music Conference on Friday, where I will be representing us and our community on the A&R panel alongside Armada Defected, Spinning, and I'm really proud of you lot, because this show would not be happening if it wasn't for the content that you are giving in every single week. I'm so proud of all of you, and look what we've achieved on this platform in 2 years. Demo drop on tour, yeah. We have our place now. You know, it's like I said at the beginning of the show, we might not be a massive label. We don't have any marketing money behind us. We don't have a budget. But we do, you know, I'm invested in you guys. I'm happy to be giving some time to doing this, because I honestly believe in all of you who are sending music in, and I get the feedback from you. You say to me, like, the track that I sent in has now been signed to X record label, and I love to have that kind of feedback. It's really important, because it makes what I do mean, you know, I'll keep doing it. You guys are inspiration. I can't believe I've got to a point now where I can finish music. I can finish music and I'm ready to release it now. And I honestly put a big part of that down to being accountable and doing this show. Because when I say it to you lot, when I big you guys up, I'm doing it for me as well. You know, as a side, as a you know what it's like if you suffer from confidence, or, you know, you've got some little programs in your mind where you don't think you're good enough, you don't feel worthy. I've found a really good workaround for that, is to help other people. You know, it's predominantly a selfish thing, but the best selfish thing, because it's a win-win situation. I don't want anyone to feel the way that I've felt. You know, I don't wish that for anyone. And I know that when I help others, it makes me feel good. And yeah, so if that's selfish, then I'm happy about that. But yeah, honestly, it's had a lovely knock-on effect of giving me my confidence to do the same. Because if I'm going to tell you lot to do it, I've got to do it myself. So yeah, thank you so much. But because it is frustrating, and, you know, we do have those moments where it can seem, what's the point? But if we all just, it's like an AA meeting, isn't it? It's like doing the 12 steps, and we all check in with each other every week, and let's see where it goes. Yeah, Mark, make sure you do. Please do send in a track, because it's a safe space here. You know, not in one of those social justice warrior kind of a ways, but it is a safe space in that I don't let anyone come in here and spout crap. You know, it's a vulnerable place to be taking your music and getting other people to listen to it, sending it in, and we don't get any crappy people in here. So, you know, and sometimes that's why it's good to have a smaller platform, because, you know, we have our regulars and our community in here, and if it was massive, you'd lose that aspect of it, I think. But yeah, like I said, we're going to be taking it to the I keep saying Birmingham, Brighton Music Conference this weekend, and pitching it to people and seeing if they want to, you know, get involved and see where it takes us, you know, because maybe the labels will start listening to the show, and who's to say one of you won't get, you know, on one of the bigger labels from this show. You know, that's all possible. Like, we've had Deadmau5 come onto this channel twice and popped in and said hello. You know, there's a lot of very, very influential people in the industry on Twitch, and you never know who's lurking and who's listening, and that's why it's important. Someone might really love your music, and they can hear it on this show, and then they'll send you a whisper, and then the rest can be history. So that's why it's important to do this. Yay! So yeah, cheers guys. I'm going to go and find Guy and go and make some food, I think. From Little Acorns, exactly. There you go. Yeah, and then I will see you after the weekend, possibly Monday night. So I'm away all weekend. I've got gigs at the weekend, maybe Sunday night. Depends how knackered I am. I've got a very busy few days coming up. So, yeah, we're going to go now and see Jaro and Pitch. And I probably have pronounced that completely wrong, but you know who I mean. See you later, oscillators. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.